Album review. Today's album is Against the Current in Our Bones. We're joined today by Will.
Yo.
Aidan.
Bones.
Myself, Denver. And Joe.
Yeah. Against the Current, fucking great band, fucking love them. This, did we record the other album? Is it an official album?
No,
review?
we didn't make it. We didn't make the album.
Oh, damn it! It's a shame because this is much better than that other album, in my opinion.
I agree with Will's controversial.
I say much better. I don't think it's much better, but it's definitely better.
He's now changing his mind.
I'd say much
hate
better.
you.
I wouldn't say much better.
I hate you.
I just had these little pronouns on.
You had lies.
No, I had these little bits on so that it makes it sound more dramatic, and then it's like, and then you got to bring it back down to reality.
It makes you sound autistic.
So go, I love this. Well, I don't really love this. It's what you basically do all the time.
It's like dramatic effect.
you gotta keep people engaged, and because let's face it, my voice is boring, so I gotta make the words I say less boring.
I've never felt less.
I can't do that through funniness. So I have to do it through switcheroo plot twists.
Quick, Joe, make a joke.
Why did the orange cross the road?
Why?
Because it ran out of juice.
Wait, don't you mean didn't? Don't you mean he didn't cross the road?
What did I say?
You said, why did he cross the road?
Right.
Because he ran out of juice. Well, he could be getting more juice.
How do you make it then?
Yeah, but he could be going over the road to get more juice.
Well, that wasn't added into the joke. Now,
do you guys?
It was a shriveled mess.
All right. Here we go. How does a lion like its steak?
Raw. Or was it raw, but spelled R-A-W?
Raw.
I don't think I can hate you any more than I already do.
Tough crowd.
We sure are. We're a crowd of Navy SEALs. Real tough.
So, Against the Current. Yeah, I really enjoyed this album. I think there was a lot. There's a few more slow songs on this album, and by that I mean one. I just did the same thing again. I'm really sorry.
There's more than one slow song on this album.
Yeah, there's like two in there, maybe three if you count like some of the shit ones, but we don't.
But I think this album has a lot more like humbleness to it than the other album did. The other album kind of felt a lot more like show offy, almost a bit more confident in a way. But this feels a lot more humble. And I like that about it. Chrissy has an amazing voice, as always.
Name the other members of the band.
Dan.
Right.
Does he know the other one?
And the other one. Weirdly, Dan is the guitarist, I believe, and the drummer is actually my favourite other member of the band.
Only other member of the band.
Out of all three of them. He's just really cool.
God.
I like it.
Oh, this we're off to a shaky start.
I like his style. I think he's really
Who? The
cool.
drummer or the guitarist?
The drummer.
Chrissy.
the other third favourite member.
Did you know that these guys are fueled by ramen?
Fuck off, Joe.
I'm not joking.
They're not. That's their.
Where does it? Is it that like a joke thing that they?
No, that's their record label. It's called Fueled by
Raymond.
Yeah, the same one.
Different guy.
As Paramore.
Yeah.
Oh. Do you guys actually like ramen? I'm not a big fan.
I don't think I've ever had it.
Wait.
No, is that the stuff with the broth?
I mean, yes.
Oh, I fucking love that from Wagamama. You get pork ramen.
You uncultured white fuck.
Ah,
yes, that dish from the Wagmamas. I love it.
I like it very much.
I really like these bread noodly rope boys.
There's noodles out there, but with broth.
Thanks, Joe.
Back to the album.
Skinny Snake.
So I think it's safe to say there wasn't really a bad song on the album. However, there was a least memorable song, and that was Demons. And if you're humming it, literally, I can't see one bad song on the album.
I think
see
you're
better songs
blinded
than
by
the
your
other.
penis, to be honest.
I think I can see about 4.
I think you're easily blinded by your penis.
You see 4. There's literally like no bad songs. I don't know how you can see that. They're all quite strong, actually. I would say.
If anything, I'd argue that your rule, Joe,
Yeah.
was completely nullified in this album.
Really?
Mm.
I would disagree. But that's okay, because we all have our own opinions, and this is just mine.
This is opinion review, and we hate yours.
Everyone always hates my opinion.
Well, then you should stop killing babies.
You gay-hating Nazi.
You
I'm not.
gay-hating
I'm not.
Nazi
I'm not.
baby killer.
I'm a black loving.
Because of all his flatmates.
I'm a black loving imbecile. Is what they call me.
I thought you were a
Simple,
basic smoker. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Simple basic smoker. I don't smoke. Smoking's bad.
That's just another Joe Midwood lie. Right?
That's just straight up a lie.
I'm trying to quit.
No, you're not. That's another lie.
Great.
Right, a few honourable mentions before I go into my top 3.
You sure?
Definitely.
Um,
So, first one is Runaway.
okay.
That is actually my 2020 ultimate playlist at the minute. Before listening to this album, a couple of these songs actually are. Runaway was a fucking banger.
Great.
6th song, almost made it.
Shut
to my
up,
top 3.
Aidan. I don't like this descendingness.
I'm
right.
not trying to be descending. I'm trying to rush him along.
To be fair, I Prevail is on your fucking playlist, Joe, so, you know.
Look, I'm literally not trying to be sassy. I'm just trying to get him to continue.
Okay.
Because otherwise he tangents into a spiral of Chrissy and smoking and child killing. And
She
Yeah,
did
yeah,
say
yeah.
she likes the way my cigarettes smell in my ashtray.
Shut up.
That's not even on this album.
It's not on this album, but it was still a relevant, funny joke. It was a funny
It was
joke.
actually pretty clever for you. I'll give you that.
Denver, I don't like the way you're condescending, Joe, right now.
That was serious.
Well, it didn't sound it. Joe, don't worry, I got you back.
Go on.
Go fuck yourself.
Fuck you.
So you liked
So-
Runaway, and it was in your top playlist. What's your next honourable
is.
mention?
Forget Me Now.
Solid.
I
Really
wish I
liked
could.
that as well.
Ironic, because it's not forgettable.
Yeah,
Oh.
Well,
it's not.
Shut up, well. I'm going to come over and headbutt you in a minute.
I think every chorus had a really good hook. Like,
I wouldn't say every.
maybe not every.
Classic Joe. Lying again.
No, guys, come on, guys.
Maybe there was like 2 songs that didn't have as good as a hook, and that would probably be Demons and Roses, like literally the last 2 songs. But I'd say literally every other one has like a really solid hook, and it gets you into it. You know, it all makes you feel like it's summer, like it's a party, and like you're going down.
To
Go down
Chinatown. To get
You
some
can't
ramen.
say Chinatown to get some ramen. And also, why can't you say ramen?
Ramen. Do you say ramen?
Denver says ramen.
ramen.
Denver, how do you say women?
Whoa.
Whammon.
Whamen.
Whammon. Wah. Waluigi.
Thank you, Joe.
That was my impression of Waluigi.
Joe, what's your worst?
He's
I've
already done his
already said my
worst.
worst.
What was it?
Fucking not listening
Demons.
to me because you're too busy interrupting me, you fucking
Go on.
bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me your third favourite now.
My third favourite is Blood Like Gasoline.
Thank you. What's your second
Why is that?
favourite?
No.
No, come on now. He's had too much time already.
I feel like it's literally been like 5 minutes.
It's too long.
10 minutes.
Blood Like Gasoline, because I feel like it had one of the strongest choruses, and I really liked all the lyrics as well. They're quite easy to remember and sing along to. What's quite funny, singing along to actually, is when me and Denver went to go see Chrissy. I mean, Against the Current. In
That
Wales.
just shows you right there how blinded you are by your penis, right? So we start to talk about going to see the band, and instead of saying the band, you go, when we went to see Chrissy.
Are you speaking on the other side of your room here?
Where are you, Will?
Sorry, I'm here. I'm back. Sorry,
was like,
Sorry,
I did lean back out of just disappointment.
It sounded like you were in the kitchen shouting through.
Oi!
Hello!
I love it.
The point still stands.
It does stand. If anyone couldn't hear it, Will said that Joe's blinded by his penis.
It was quite cool actually, because when we went to see them, two things to mention here is firstly, when we were singing it, a lot of the lyrics me and Denver didn't actually know, and we were kind of just like going blah, 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 the gasoline, blah 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 blah, yeah, and just kind of bubbling along.
Yeah, but I openly admit to never really knowing any lyrics to any song.
That's true. But I feel like the in between lyrics are quite forgettable, but then like the main bit is always like the and that's why it's so impactful when it comes in, you know. Second thing to mention is when we went to see Against the Current is the bassist that plays for them is the same bassist from We Are the In Crowd.
Not true. But almost true.
It's the We Are the In Crowd singer's brother.
Close enough.
No.
It's her sister.
No.
Right,
So
yeah.
okay, so
Was it?
the bassist / percussionist person is the lead singer of We Are the In Crowd.
Ah.
Was there even a bassist in this band?
Well,
not in the core band.
It's kind of the three of them, and then they just do
Have a
like
touring
session
member.
musicians.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say the bass was not.
Because if you notice, there's like some like synth music and stuff in some of the songs. So like, who's going
There's
to play
all-
that?
All sorts in it.
All sorts.
The
But
drummer
no,
also plays the piano parts.
But yes, I think the drummer's brother is in We Are the In Crowd as well.
Interesting.
There's quite a few connections there between It's the Current and We Are the In Crowd.
Yeah. My second favourite was Brighter.
Brighter?
Brighter. This was an unexpected one for me too, Denver. So I can understand why you are surprised, shocked, maybe disagreeing. However,
Almost certainly disappointed.
I felt like this was a beautiful ass song. And it took the third listen to really go, fuck, this is really beautiful. It's really motivational. It's actually like a proper ballad song type of thing. I don't know if that's the right terminology to use, but it was like a proper, really like building kind of thing.
I thought it was boring as fuck.
Yeah, same.
See, I thought that was going to be your favourite song, Aidan.
I can tell you right now that any pre-rendered misconceptions that you have of what kind of music I like were shattered by this album, because even the slow songs weren't that good.
Fuck off.
Well,
Anyway.
go suck my ass.
My favourite song was Chasing Ghosts.
The
Why, you ask?
fuck is these picks?
Why, you ask, is because I really like it when she hits the high note.
Thanks, Joe.
I don't know, that song just chills for me, you know?
Fuck me, those are shit picks.
It grooves for me. That's my opinion, you know?
That's my opinion.
You know? You could
Chasing Ghosts is terrible, to be fair.
It's a bloody good song.
Not terrible.
But again, like, I feel like any song could be like the top there. I don't mean that. I mean,
For fuck's sake, Joe. Say something to stick to it.
I mean, like all the songs were like really good. So like that, I could change my mind next week. You know? Can we do album review again next week?
Same
The same album.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Please
fuck.
no.
Thank you everyone for listening to me.
We didn't get a choice.
Trouble is, with Aidan and Will's reaction, I can't tell if this is like a decoy
It's
just
the
to
old
be
switcheroo.
just
I
to be
love
like
it.
controversial, or whether you actually hate it, because I don't know.
Hate's a strong word.
Yeah,
I have
don't
extra
hate
long
it.
socks on right now.
Thank you, Joe.
When we were like initially listening to this album, I was like, because in my head I always thought this is better than the other album. When I was listening to it, like in the car and stuff, I was like, I've heard of these songs so much that like it's not like tickling anything. Like it's not like gigging me up to be like, what a sick album. But then when I like went to actually analyze like why I originally liked it and stuff, I then sort of reinvigorated my love for this album. I think the production is solid throughout. Like I don't think there's a single like
Symbol.
Symbol.
It's not-
I think all the songs.
You're right. There was no drumming in the entire album.
I think all the songs sound very different, and there's lots of change-ups, as in, like, they haven't just stuck with one style and stuck with it. Like, the slower songs kind of set the pace for them making the other songs seem even better. But other than one slow song, I'd still say all the slow songs are really good. And really have really good elements to them. So I still really enjoyed listening to the slower songs. Apart from my least favourite, which was Demons, just because it was a bit flat. Like, she still sounds good in it, but nothing ever really happens. It's kind of a bit monologue-y. Like, it's kind of just her talking over, like, a little bit of backing. And it just didn't pull me in like any others, because I feel like every other song had some element in it that pulled me in and made me be like, oh, this is a good song. Like, yes, some songs were better than others, but Demons just didn't have anything about it, really.
True.
Which put kind of a downer on the album. I feel like the album almost Roses could have been thrown in maybe as like the second song, and then finished on Blood Like Gasoline would have been a much better like finish, because especially the start of the album, I think Running with the Wild Things is a great start to the album.
I mean, we always talk about like almost like reordering the albums and stuff like that, and like the position of the songs in the album. I don't really feel like this album suffered from that, because like all the best songs are basically smack bang in the middle, and most of the stuff around it is just sort of chod that they threw in anyway. Well, they're very, very similar sort of songs to what I found is a lot of what I would class as chod songs ended up bleeding through into the new album, and then that's all that came out of it. At least this has those unique ones that probably lift it up slightly better, but even still.
I would disagree.
Thanks, Joe.
Okay.
Why?
Go on.
Why?
Go on. You got to give reasons.
Because the songs aren't chod.
They feel like chod.
No, on this one.
No, what I would say, though, I actually listened back to a few of the newer album songs, and I was like, why is this one, to me, why is this album has such better songs to that other album? It's because the other album had a few like funky change-up songs, but other than that, most of the songs in the newer album were kind of just soft. Like, they didn't have any like driving or challenging sounds. It was kind of just nice.
Yeah, but bar about 3 on this album, I'd argue that was the exact same case.
No, I would disagree.
I agree with Denver.
Go on.
I would argue the newer album actually has more depth and more individuality with songs, whereas I feel like this...
All right, sorry, no, he was wrong. I take it back. I didn't mean to let him talk.
No, you are wrong with that, Will.
Genuinely? Like, what?
This has no
character in the newest one.
So the newest one had like the fuss. I'm trying to remember what they were now.
But you're forgetting, because I think you've started to love some of those songs over time, whereas you didn't when you initially did the review.
Yeah.
So how do you know that's not going to be the same here?
Because I've listened to them both throughout this week to try and get a gauge for how I feel about them both. And I feel like the other one's a much more mature take. It's got way more depth, way more, like, I feel like individual songs stand out way more than on this. On this, I literally had to, like, go back and physically look at what they were called to even, like, acknowledge them.
I don't know how. I think you're just not listening, because I feel like all of them sound so different.
I feel like you just haven't listened.
Like, I don't feel like any of the songs sound similar at all in this album.
I would agree with Denver, though.
Like, I'd say that a few of them definitely sound similar.
Yeah, I feel like there's like maybe like 3 that have their own little thing, but then everything else is just like generic chod to me. Like they all sound, they're all the same style. Everything's so safe. Like there's nothing that really ever tests any boundaries.
What I'm confused about with that, Will, is you're saying the new album isn't that.
No, their new album definitely is that. The new album is completely safe. Whereas
but
I would argue that the newer albums, all the songs sound more similar in that than in this one.
Yes, I would agree.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, I think you're right.
Because to me, like, my favorite about 7 songs that I really loved on this album, I almost randomly put them in the top 3 because they were all different. Like, I liked them all for different reasons. So, like, third place, I went with Young and Relentless, because it's one of that, actually, it felt like a happy song, with, like, a good hook, and has a breakdown at the very end where, like, it drops out all the instruments and just has the vocals for a bit and then brings all the instruments back in. I always love it when songs do that. And I felt like it was the only one that felt happy, because some of them are kind of just like a driving, upbeat feel. I don't know how to describe it, whereas Young and Relentless kind of actually felt happy to me. Second favourite was Blood Like Gasoline. I didn't used to like this song, really. So this is the one song that I sort of picked up more from listening this time round. Just because it has a great build and good tempo, but the tempo like changes throughout the song slightly. And again, great hook, which I never really picked up on before. Kind of always felt that was a bit of a mess song, which I guess most people did because it's like the least listened to song on this album. And then my favourite was literally only picked because of the great start that I felt like the album had, and that was Running with the Wild Things. I had that as my favourite because it was literally the first song. And I loved Running with the Wild Things. I love Forget Me Now, One More Weekend, Runaway, Roses. I loved all those almost equally. So just the fact that Running with the Wild Things was the first song that then sets the tone for what I remember about this album and loving this album. Hence why that was my favourite, really, because it just reminds me of how good the full album is to me. And
Well,
and also with the Running with the Wild Things has the whole like call repeat thing, so it makes the chorus feel really grand.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one with Against the Current. I found like a lot of the songs, they weren't almost using it to her full potential. Like a lot of the vocal stuff and like that, they never, because you were talking about good production value. I'd argue that they didn't do enough to flesh out like specifically the vocals, because she does have a good range, but like it never seems to be utilized to its full potential.
I don't know. I'd say Blood Like Gasoline. It was utilized pretty full on.
Well, I'm listening to it now, and that song kind of cringe, bro.
I'm Chasing Ghosts.
Chasing Ghosts is an alright song. I'm not going to shit on that. I liked it because it was different. Will Davey Logic. So
this album. Sorry,
she certainly did. So I thought that it was just going to be like another Against the Current album that felt like really uninspired, and I guess that this is just them at this point, because this album was, in my opinion, as uninspired, not worse, not really better, and like there was a few choruses that actually had good hooks, but there was a big lack of contrast throughout the album. As in, like, I'm not talking like specific styles, but I mean like having another singer potentially could have absolutely, like it wouldn't have gone amiss. I know that back in her day when she was doing all the YouTube and stuff, a lot of the time she had a male singer with her,
Alex Goot,
and that contrast worked extremely well between them two, because like she didn't just have only like the backing to fall on, because the backing felt kind of weak at most parts. I think
I'd agree with that. Yeah,
that's not to say that the good songs weren't good; they definitely were. Like I just felt like in the middle of the album, that was all the gold, and the rest of it, like I say, was just padding. You had to slog through the chod to find the enjoyable songs.
I think slogging through the chod is a bit harsh.
Yeah, I really do.
Still...
All right, sorry, I had to literally wade through the massive piles of shit. Take slog, right? Worst song. This is a bit of a weird one because I heard Demons, thought it was bad, but I have a personal vendetta against the song One More Weekend, which was my least favorite.
Oh, love that song.
Because I feel like the verses just tried to cram in so many syllables and words, like that, and the chorus didn't really hold my attention. The whole song was just quite hard to follow and a bit of a mess.
Yeah, but I think that's part of the song because they just want one more weekend, so they're like trying to cram it all in. I think that works with the theme of the song.
I mean, maybe it does. Maybe it does, but in my eyes, it just ruined the song for me. Because other than that, like the backing on that song was fine. Like, it was all right. I didn't really have a problem with it. It was specifically the cramming in of the lyrics and the not very good choruses that held that as worst for me. Third favorite, Young and Relentless. pretty good vocal hook and a decent melody. It's just a pretty good song. Like, it's not offensive. It's not really, it's not offensive. Unlike me at family gatherings.
What's that? Young and Relentless. Sorry.
Young and Relentless.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Sorry,
I
man.
thought it was all right.
I just realised I chose the wrong top song.
You chose the top. What? You chose the wrong.
I did
song.
I did the wrong pick. This really
What?
annoyed me because I
You
can't
picked-
change it now.
You picked
I picked
Chasing
the-
Ghosts.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't want to pick that.
How only Joe would fuck this?
No, my third favourite.
What? You fucked your third favourite?
Yeah,
What do you mean? So
I don't
it
wanna-
wasn't Blood Like Gasoline?
it wasn't. No,
What was
What
it?
was it?
Runaway.
Right.
So your first song is correct.
My first song's correct.
I don't know how you even managed to lie
how-
about your own review. Like, that's pretty impressive even for you.
It's because I lost my notes, so I was trying to remember.
Fuck's sake. So it's Runaway is your third
It's
favourite.
Runaway. Runaway is like by far like so good. That's why it was in my top. That's why I was like honorable mentions. Runaway.
Hang on, but why would it be in your honourable mentions if it was in your top 3?
Because when I did my honorable mentions, I just go through it and I was trying to figure out what like all my bits were. At the
So
same
did you
time.
mean to
actually
pick
couldn't
Brighter?
remember
Because
one of your
Brighter wasn't that
favourite
good.
songs.
What? Brighter? I didn't put in Brighter.
Ish, oh, fuck me, Joe, you did.
Oh, I did. It was my
Oh my
second
God.
favorite. Yeah, that was right. Yeah.
Oh, God. Let's have a damn you.
Lord, give me a strength. Are we good? Have we got all that out of our system?
Yeah.
All right.
Fantastic.
Second favorite, Chasing Ghosts. Yeah. Chrissy really shows her vocal ability in this song, and I feel like it's my second favorite, basically on uniqueness alone, because there are a few songs that are actually like Chasing Ghosts out there. Good song, caught my attention.
That was one of the just
Excuse-
okay ones.
Well, that's fine, Denver. We've established that your review was wrong, so
An okay album. It's an okay song.
it's an okay song. But my favourite was, ironically, the one that Joe tried to tack on as his third. It was Runaway. That's right. I thought the verses, for a change, are actually pretty good. And I also thought that the vocals had a bit more flair in this song as opposed to the others. I think, above all, it's probably got one of the best choruses. And
Surprised.
yeah. Well, overall, I was hoping for a redemption story, but Arthur's only interesting when he's dying.
Good quote.
Thanks, mate.
Top quote.
Top keck.
Top cat.
I
Cat?
thought everyone would find Runaway a bit cringy.
I'll tell you what I found cringy. Pretty much every other song.
Hmm.
I think we should ban. I'm just never. I mean, I didn't even pick this album. I'm never picking an album I like. Too much like
Why?
inner anger starts burning.
Heartbreak.
It is. It's like, no, don't shit on this. I was literally thinking when I went for a shower, I was like, fuck me, Joe's going to get a fucking 30.
No
No,
way.
no.
No.
Like, I thought this album was like okay at best.
Yeah. Extremely average. So I'll say it's all right, but it's definitely nothing special. And I do still stand. I think it falls short of the newer album massively because I just felt like, at least, because I listened to both to kind of be able to compare. I know you shouldn't compare too much, but then because I remember I've changed my opinion from the last album. Fuck's sake, let me try and say that again without not sounding like an idiot.
You got this, Will. Live
We
in the moment.
reviewed the newer album, which is called, someone do it because I don't know the name of it.
Past lives.
Past Lives, a while ago.
Past life.
I
Sorry.
didn't enjoy that much, but over time has definitely grown on me, particular songs especially. But I wanted to listen to it at the same time as listening to this so that I could actually compare it and have a bit of a fairer opinion on this album. And I definitely do prefer the newer one. I feel like the songs have more individuality. They're a lot more mature. I feel like the writing is a hell of a lot better and much less cringy. Which is, I'm going to sound like an idiot because one of my favourite songs is literally like probably one of the cringiest on the whole album, but it stands out. So
Because it's different.
It's different.
because it is
It's
different in
different.
an album that lacks difference. So
No, it doesn't.
It does.
I think it really does.
It really does.
Literally doesn't.
Like the fact I could listen through the whole album and not really right.
That's
I
because we
noticed when the-
established you
right,
weren't
no.
listening.
It's because you,
Here's the thing,
as mentioned before.
Here's the thing. I've listened to it probably like 6 or 7
you?
times, like genuinely. Well, it seems to fly by because you just don't really
Is it
notice
so good?
it. No, because you don't really
you're
notice it.
No, it's
Because
you're
it's the
enjoying yourself
I forgot
so
to.
much.
And
You
one
know,
of
I
my
think
notes
you're
was
both
it's the
blinded by
perfect length.
penis, like genuinely.
No,
Literally not. I just like the music.
There's no like. There's just no depth to any of the songs, really. It's just
oh
right.
my
So
god, I don't think
for
you were
example,
listening.
I think she's a really good singer. Like, do not get me wrong, very good singer. But because everything's so safe, it kind of like. Hello.
That was the
feels
feels
like-
a tantrum.
There's just no like development for it. No, she couldn't really do much else.
She does a lot better on the covers of other songs, just
Yes.
purely based on the fact that maybe it's her own restrictions that are limiting her from being able to like create interesting and thought-provoking music.
No, it's perfect.
I'd say so because like you can tell. I feel in the new album that she's got a lot more confidence in her voice because she's almost willing to stretch it a bit further or try different things with it. Whereas this, I don't think this voice ever changes too much ever.
I would completely disagree again. I think she really goes for the high notes in this album, whereas she doesn't do that much in the newer one.
I would agree with Joe.
Nah. I feel like
But hang on. Even if she does hit the high notes, that doesn't discard from the fact that like the good songs in the other album are better than the good songs in this album.
Disagree.
Again, I would really disagree. Yeah.
But like, God, the fuss, scream, like was
I
voices
love those
pretty irritating
songs.
from them, but they are fucking
Yeah,
amazing.
But I love songs on
Whereas,
this
like,
album more.
I wouldn't class like Runaway or like Young and Relentless as even close to being in
No.
there.
Don't get me wrong, like their other album, the newest one, has grown on me over time as well. They are fantastic songs, but I've just always had always just a
Boner. He means
no.
boner.
They're just better, and they do have sentimental value to me as well. So
Well, that's fine, but we're looking at it from an outsider perspective, and you guys are just fucking sucking its dick, and we're just like, what the fuck are you doing?
I feel like if you didn't, I don't know. Okay, so what I will say as well is
We're
like
about to say, I feel like if you didn't fancy it, you wouldn't like them.
I feel like Will, if you hadn't seen Biffy Clyro live, you wouldn't have liked him as much.
to be
that's
fair,
probably
Will,
true. That's probably true.
have you seen against the current
I'll stay
live?
by that.
Have you seen against the current live?
Yeah, I have.
Ah, fucking hell! Well, that goes my joke.
I was going to say I have also.
Well,
seen
I wouldn't
him
even
live.
really say seeing them. I'd say they were on in the background while you were there.
I
When
mean, I
did you-
sat in the crowd watching them.
When
So.
did-
Yeah, for about 5 minutes.
So we watched them together when we went to an all-time.
I was
low
off for
concert.
5 minutes. I watched the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
set,
No, you didn't. You went off.
and I sat. And
Like
I
fucking
was in
miles
the crowd
back.
with you, and then I went and sat back.
Yeah, after about
and
a
watched
song.
them from a while back because they weren't inspiring enough for me to stay.
That
So,
wasn't the reason.
I mean,
It was because of all the ketamine.
well,
There wasn't. All the cat was at the back of the stand, and that's where Will wanted to be.
Classic.
Exactly. you know, classic Ket man.
Catman
I feel-
Will, we call him.
We're off to Chef. I
Ket
felt
Man.
like most of the songs lacked something as well. Like, was there even a fucking bassist? Because like there was never any like decent bass lines. There was never.
Well, it's
I feel
not Royal
it's-
Blood,
it's-
bloody
like
hell.
the backing was never.
Bad. You're right.
It was never bad, but it was never good. Like there was never any.
Look, Denver, you told us to shut up. You can shut the
Nah.
fuck
This
up
is
now.
my
No, no,
time.
no, no, no.
I'm ruining
Nah,
your
this is-
review.
Nah, fuck you. You didn't ruin mine. You ruined his.
Yeah, well, it's because you were fair. Will's just being unfair, and I'm ruining his review.
Right.
No,
Got
because
it.
I haven't been able to even say the good things yet.
All three of them.
Shut up. You know what? I'm just
Yeah,
going to shut up now.
The backing, like, I feel like her vocals was uninspired in terms of what she could do because of the backing being so uninspired. There was never anything musically that ever stood out. It was, if anything did stand out, it was always her voice. There was never like any decent. Well, actually, saying that running with a wild horse, maybe.
So here's the play, right? You
Mm.
get her to become the new lead singer of Issues.
Mm.
That'd be insane. I
It's
reckon
funny
that'd
you
be
say
really
that.
good.
They did a cover together.
They did. Tyler Carter and her. They did. What was it?
It was a Justin Bieber song. I fucking love that cover.
Yeah.
It is a good cover.
Won't Let Go? I don't.
I would agree. Like, yes, the instruments are never the key point, but I feel like her voice works so well in synergy with the instruments that it makes this perfect piece of.
I mean,
Stop creaming over her for fuck's sake.
To avoid sounding sexist, there needs to be a man.
Right, hang on a second. hang on.
He's just not strong enough as a vocalist.
Hang on a second, because you say about the instruments.
I wouldn't say that.
I actually turned my attention more to the instruments towards my final couple of listens.
Don't worry, it's written on his review that you lost.
And it's kind of towards like the production type of side of it, where like the fucking drums and like the guitars and stuff sound fucking huge. Like they did a really good job. Making it sound
huge. I never. Oh my god!
I think you and me need a conversation about.
It sounds so beefy and just like in your face. I love it.
No,
yeah, definitely.
No, that's just outright wrong. Sorry.
There's only one song that I felt the thing did stand out, and that would be with "Running with a Wild Thing." That's the only time I think the instruments actually stood out.
Everything just sounded so sharp and just.
No, I'd agree with Will. Definitely, like "Running with the Wild Things" is one of the beefier songs on the album.
Yeah.
It's not about the song actually being beefy. It's like just how the instruments sound in general. Like everything's so crisp sounding. It's really cool.
Well, I mean, but then you get in like because it's too clean. That could be why it's boring.
I disagree. It's not clean. I'm saying it's crisp.
Yeah, it's too clean.
No, it's different.
I also feel like none of the bridges were ever very impactful on the songs. They never really were very good. I will say there's no like terrible songs.
Yes.
But
sorry, I was going to shut up.
But that's not necessarily a good thing. Like,
shut up.
Well, it is.
Not a good thing.
It's a good thing that there's no like bad songs, but there's no depth to anything. It just feels completely lacking, and you can tell. I definitely feel like they've matured since then. To all credit to him. And as a first album, it's not terrible, but it's just not good, in my opinion. Worst for me was Demons. I agree with that. It's flat the whole way through. Doesn't really do anything. Nothing really inspired me there. And I feel like it didn't really need to be there because Roses was actually all right and could have been a good end. Demons was just like, why is it there? Like it felt like an add-on. It felt like this was a deluxe, and that was just an added song on that they didn't really need. Third for me was actually Chasing Ghosts, pretty much for the same reasons Aidan said, because it kind of just vocally it stood out the most. It was much different to a lot of the rest of them, which this album definitely needed. And yeah, it's just a bit of a bop. Second was Running with the Wild Things, because I felt like it was when I first started listening to the album, I was like, holy shit, if it lives up to this kind of level,
it does.
It could be great. But it never really.
It does.
In terms of like an actual song in that style, never lives up to that.
Well, it's the most pop punky of them all.
Yeah. And nothing ever meets that kind of level in that type of style. And it was after that, I just felt like it was a bit disappointing. But
you say that, and yet it wasn't your favourite, so it couldn't have all been disappointing.
But for the style, right? Number one,
because it's most different.
Number one is an interesting one because I didn't think it would ever be.
You're gonna say, "Oh, okay."
What did you say?
It's not Wasteland.
I was just trying to think of like
Weekend.
No,
Runaway.
And I can't believe it's my number one because it makes me cringe myself that it's my number one.
Runaway.
It's In Our Bones.
Oh.
Right? What? Because I feel like her vocals sound so nice on that. It's all stripped down. It's simple. It doesn't like most of this album is simple, right? But this is simple to a point that it actually you want it to be simple. You don't want to be too much to it.
Like a Taylor Swift song.
Well,
he's slowly
really
being
nice. Well, this is why I'm
normalized to it from me.
This was the one song I would actually remember on the entire album. There's the one song I would actually think, when's that song coming up? Because the rest of this has just got nothing to it. There's the one song that's actually been in my head The one song if I could go back and listen to, would go listen to that.
I'll tell you what is weird
her
about
vocals
that.
are really nice in that. I just feel, and it's very chill. It kind of makes me like genuinely
Cry.
quite happy. It's just I don't really understand the lyrics too much, but
I tell you what though, what is weird about, like you saying it's the most memorable, is I completely forgot that song existed until I came back and listened to this album. And it is a fucking good song. Like, I really liked it. And it was a nice, pleasant surprise when I came back to it. I don't think it's that memorable. That's the issue.
I think it is for me because everything else is just kind of meh. And then this is like...
Oh, I can't stand it anymore. Ratings.
I hadn't finished, you bitch.
Yeah, sorry, he hadn't finished, you bitch.
Can't stand the hurt anymore.
I know, it's hurting me.
I feel like you've got too much of an emotional attachment to it, and if you stripped it back and looked at it from a new perspective,
I don't think that's
you'd
the
realise.
case.
I don't think that's the case at all, because
it.
prior to when Joe picked this, and I listened to it the first time, I was like, fuck, I'm kind of bored of all these songs. I was kind of done with it.
I think this is just like the old metal additives of every time Joe picked a metal album and then got offended that we didn't like the metal album. I'm pretty sure that's just what you guys are doing here.
I think I don't know. It's hard to say.
It's more just a case of
when
like...
you're super into something as well, it's hard to go past that. But I feel like there isn't anything really that inspiring on it, or things that are that good to take away from it, other than her voice in general. But then it never reaches that good a level because I don't think the music is ever at a good enough level to show it. And with the thing with contrast that Aidan said, I kind of agree. It needs like a second vocalist, but it wouldn't need that if the music was good enough backing wise to carry her to get her.
Good enough.
Oh my god, ratings.
No,
I can't stand it anymore.
There's almost less. There's almost like not enough content for the music.
Yes.
It's so stripped back to the point where like it's almost boring.
Yeah.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I don't think we're
Like-
listening to the same album.
I think like maybe a lot of the songs could do with like a stronger lead line,
Mhm.
or just like Will said, like a bit more bass in it, like a bit of like a bass line or some shit like that. Like something to really accentuate the vocals, because like otherwise they're just sort of bumbling around and just...
Like, do you ever remember any of the musical parts to it without her singing?
No, fuck no, I don't. No.
Yeah, like outside of her voice, do you remember any of the musical riffs or lead lines or bass lines or drum beats? No.
Yes,
Legit, yeah.
almost all of them.
Legit, yeah. I agree with that.
Fuck my life.
I'm back
Right,
on it.
okay, so let's list a random one and get Joe to sing what it sounds like without listening to it.
All right.
Go on.
I'll give you the easiest one. Running with the Wild Things.
Come on, Joe.
It literally is like dun, 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 dun. It's like one note going through it.
Well, that's like the
Hold on.
the drums.
Yeah, well, no. No, it's like literally one note going through.
What do you mean, hold on? Where are you going? You shouldn't be listening to it.
I am now.
Oh, so you've cheated.
That's
it
cheating.
wasn't very memorable.
Is it almost like you couldn't remember it because it wasn't?
I know
that
that.
Again, was that vocals?
I think that might have been vocals.
It was literally vocals.
Yeah, that's still music.
All right.
No, I said about the actual riffs, the backing. I never said the lyric. That's what I mean. Like, do you remember any of the actual backing to it without
Yeah,
her?
But the problem is we're coming back. We're coming
All
off the back of Royal
All
Blood.
right, Will. All right, Will.
Their entire
yeah. I was gonna say
thing.
Royal
Yeah.
Blood's whole
Yeah.
gig is our sick bass line.
Yeah.
I feel like the best artists have both.
Oh.
All right,
Like,
then, Will.
you're an
What's your favourite Mayday Parade song?
Mayday Parade is shit. Let's move on.
And can you sing the? And now, can you sing the guitar part?
Yeah,
Thanks,
to be
Will.
fair, Will, that is a bit of a shit ask.
Yeah.
I think I probably could. You know.
Well, Mayday Parade aren't like one of my favourite bands, so
Ratings.
definitely in top 10, but not enough to go like that. So
9.
9.
5.
5.
Like, is it fucking 9?
9?
Yeah.
Oh my god! You just
It's okay, Devo. We can go see them next year.
It's okay. We can drive this album to a good score.
Yeah, I'm sure that'd be great. Then we'll spend another day with Joe.
You're right.
even both the things you said never like told me you was going to give it a 9.
No, like you never like You said you liked it, but it was like a 9. A 9.
A 9.
I understand what a 9 is, right? It's like one song off perfect.
Yeah, there was only one bad song on it.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying one song off perfect.
Yeah.
Like every other song in that album is perfect to you.
Yeah.
Other than Deep.
Yeah.
No, they're not all perfect.
Oh, well, they're not.
No.
I can't justify your rating. I don't think
I
you
would have
can.
thought the way you spoke about it is more like an 8 or
Maybe 8.5.
That doesn't
8.5.
matter.
Well, no, it doesn't matter. It's all relative to what you think.
But
what we're saying is just like that's high.
Even the way
I'm
you
pretty
spoke
sure I
about it
literally
didn't
said this
pick it up.
perfect album.
I don't think you.
I
so.
don't think this album was going to be so controversial. I generally think.
No, I was like, this is going to be a 30, and I can't believe
Yeah.
Joe's snuck a 30 here.
Yeah. I was like, this is.
I mean, I couldn't believe it so much that I didn't vote it that way.
What was it, Deborah?
28.
Fuck's sake! God damn it!
It was carried by 2 9s.
True.
The irony
5
is,
such a stupid score to give it.
the irony is that
9
because
is,
Will
yeah.
shit on the old album so much, he still scores this one higher than the last one.
No, that's quite funny.
Yeah, I know. That's because I was wrong with that though, and I've said that ever since. So,
This album does actually score higher than the last.
oh god,
Deservingly.
No, I'd say I would say it deserves it definitely. I think overall the songs themselves are just slightly better. I just prefer the main songs in the newer one.
Well.
Whatever you pick, Will, I'm shitting on it.
Taylor
Yeah.
Swift.
Can you recite the music parts, please?
I'm going to note that one down. I'm going to use it next week.
I never actually asked you to recite them.
You literally fucking did.
No, I didn't. No, I
No,
didn't.
So can you sing like the
Aidan
melody?
did. I didn't say this. I said, can you remember it, like visually in your head? So I never said you have to sing it out loud. I never said that. But it's just like I feel like,
Oh, that'd be funny.
say like for example, like a Red Hot Chili Peppers thing. I really remember, or Two Door Cinema Club, or
Yeah,
like
but you're picking iconic songs with those like riffs or melodies, you know?
That's what
Like,
they're
I wouldn't
made
say any of
for,
these
yeah.
songs are iconic.
Then how the fuck does it get a 9?
Because
Because it
they're
doesn't have to be
great.
iconic to still be. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry, Deborah. I cut you off when you made a valid point.
And even Demons isn't a bad song. It's just a bit boring. It's a bit flat.
Yeah, but you got Imagine Dragons who also have demons and better.
Imagine Dragons.
Imagine Dragons.
Yeah.
Next album, well,
Fucking hell.
Quad.
I don't have to just like completely switch it up here.
Yo, can we switch up the language?
Yeah, switch up the language. Pick
I've got like
BTS.
4 albums, and I'm.
Oh my
so,
god,
like,
you've done a
indecisive.
Joe here, haven't you? You've not picked
Yeah,
one.
because I've been like listening to it. And I can't.
I can't pick one.
Would you like one that's really different, or would you like one that's pretty safe? Or
I'd
would
like
you
one that I like.
in the middle?
Oh no, actually
in
one
the
that I'd hate, so I can hate on it.
One that you'd hate.
No. I don't want to listen to a shit album.
Why? We just had to.
Oh, wounded.
We got it, boys.
I was
I don't want to
baiting
shit
into
on
that.
all of you though, because I know you won't like it.
Come on, Will. Fucking hell.
All right.
To be fair, we've had some like safe ass out. Every album has scored well recently.
Yeah.
Since
Lizzo.
well, Lizzo, but that's just because
Poor
you hate
Lizzo.
women.
Yeah, that's true.
Fair, I feel like I can take the hit, you know. So
Oh, no.
Oh, and you picked
no.
Lizzo last time as well, actually.
Oh, he's tanking it, boys.
He's
He's
tanking
tanking it.
Taking the hits.
should we? Fuck.
Come
All
on.
right. We're gonna go with
BTS.
Oh my God. Stormzy.
Oh, no. Heavy is the head?
Yeah, we'll go with his new one. Heavy as that.
My God, there are 16 songs.
54 minutes.
So long.
Fuck!
Yeah. Fuck it. Why not?
I'm
We've only
sorry.
ever had one other raps album, so.
And that did
How
so
did-
well.
I was gonna say, how did the album do again?
I think it's the second worst album.
Well, looks like we got a new king, and ironically, he's wearing a crown.
I'm happy to get tanked, but
Oh, first song, Big Michael. That's funny. Shout out to Michael.
Fifth song, Rachel's Little Brother.
It's
Shout
got
out.
Ed Sheeran on it.
Shout out Rachel's little brother.
Oh, there you go. I know my favourite
Oh,
song.
also, I'm on this album.
Oh, yeah, where?
Handsome.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Yebba.
It's also got the.
Oh, and also, there's Joe on this album. Do better.
I was going to say Bronze.
That was mean.
It's also got the song from Watchdog Legions,
Oh, which one's that?
Rainfall.
Is that what that's called, is it?
And it's got the one that he's got Chadwick Boseman in the thing, Superheroes.
Bozeman!
Boba, you son of
Yeah.
a bitch!
Son of a bitch!
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I know it's going to do bad, but I don't care.
Oh, that's not true. We hate rap.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Joe, what you got for us?
In my home, I smoke the dough because when you date the hose, you get man po.
Fuck.
Are we seriously going with that?